Hey everybody, this is Andy Bennett with the CSS New Civil War Interpreter Center. I'm at home and I'm going to give a quick video of how we went from the flintlock pistol of the pirate movie to the revolver of the cowboy movie. And I'm going to try to do this in under 6 minutes. By the late 1830s, the percussion cap system had been proven reliable enough that the military began to convert old stocks of flintlock single-shot pistols over to percussion cap. They mainly did this at Harper's Ferry, so they took 54 caliber pistols and converted them over to percussion cap. I have a 45 caliber Belgian pistol, this type of single-shot percussion pocket pistol that people would have carried, in the 1840s and 1850s, right? The way the percussion cap system works is you load your powder and then your ball, and then on this little nipple, you put a percussion cap. It's a little piece of brass with fulminated mercury in it, and when you pull the trigger, the force of the hammer striking that fulminated mercury detonates it, detonates the powder, and fires the round. Harper's Ferry would produce their last single-shot percussion pistol in 1855 with good reason. In 1839, a guy named Samuel Colt from Colt Firing Company invented the Colt Patterson revolver. So 1839, things changed. During the U.S.-Mexican War and out on the early frontier, they used their Patterson revolver. The Patterson had issues with it. It had some frailties and some odd stuff going on with it. And just like everything, it needed to improve. A Texas Ranger named Samuel Walker got up with Samuel Colt, and they worked together to come out with this monster of a pistol in 44 caliber. Dudes in metallurgy at the time, and the power they wanted out of this pistol, that's why it's so big. Right? It's fine if you're a dragoon or a cavalryman where you got holsters on a horse riding around with these, but it's just too big and too heavy. It's almost as much as a musket to tote around on your side. So even by 1849, because this gun came out in 1847, by 1849 the dragoons wanted a slightly smaller version. Well, Colt started working on miniaturizing these pistols into lighter designs. By 1851, he come out with this model. It's a 36 caliber Colt Navy, and this is possibly the most popular revolver in our American history, right? It was popular. It was made all the way up to 1873. Wild Bill Hickok, the Western character and guy, carried 2 of these. Was famous. He liked them for their accuracy. Similar design, scaled down. Well, Colt wasn't happy with that, and the Army wanted something in that bigger 44 caliber. So in 1860, he came out with the 1860 model, or the Army model Colt. As you can see, it's 44 caliber, so he went from this monster, because of the advancement of the technology, to this smaller 44 caliber pistol. There was a lot of advancements in technology in the 20 years before the Civil War. Military tactics didn't change that much, but the weapons technology did, right? Well, one of Colt's rivals that was making guns is Remington Savage. You heard from them. They're making slightly different designs and making improvements to the Colt design. One of the Colt, if you've ever seen Outlaw Jesse Wells or Western, you see where guys tilt their revolvers up when they cock them. That's to make sure the old caps fall off and don't follow into the mechanism and jam it up. And in later pistols and cartridge, people still cocked them. You see in cowboy movies them doing that and firing. That's because of that. Remington Savage tried to create models that didn't have that weakness in it to compete with Colt. There was other designs. There was Pepper Box and the Volcanic pistol. I invite you to go check those out. One of Colt's employees had another idea about improving the firearms. His name was Dan Wesson, and he went and teamed up with a guy named Smith, and Smith & Wesson Firearms Company was invented. That's still around today. His idea was that the cylinder on the Colts were solid because you had to have loose powder in there and a percussion cap on a nipple on the back of the cylinder. He came with the idea of boring out the cylinders, right, and using metallic cartridges, where you have a cartridge that has the detonation compound, powder, and bullet all in one thing. These are empty casings for safety reasons, but it was in their first Model 1 and Model 1.5 were in 22 short, and they also made a Model 2 in 32 rimfire. So you just would load that back in there, into the cylinder and be able to fire your shots, open it up, empty out the shots. So the metallic cartridge was born, right? The Smith & Wesson pistols were the first ones using metallic cartridge. Then people started experimenting with it, and other weapons were invented. And then after the Civil War, they started converting Colt pistols and Remington pistols to fire metallic cartridges. And then these guns stuck around until the mid-1870s, where Colt come out with new models like the Colt Peacemaker, the classic pistol you see in cowboy movies and TV shows. So we started off with conversion from flintlock to percussion cap and ended with Colt's pistols being converted from percussion cap to metallic cartridge. If you want to see a video of me shooting that massive Walker pistol and the tiny little diminutive Smith & Wesson model, go check out a GoPro video and a side view video on our YouTube page. As always, check out our videos on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at CSS News Civil War Interpreter Center.